Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode I'm going to be doing a few things that I wish I knew before deciding to go to university. When I get ready for class. The first thing I wish I knew about uni before deciding to come to university is basically just what I wanted to study in university. I feel like a lot of us, we just feel like uni is the next step after secondary school, and we just go straight to uni with chem engine, or we first pick our courses with maybe chem engine, law, medicine, or all of those interesting courses, and one way or another school just knocks us off our course. And some people, for instance, during my sets in my university, they were not admitting students to study law, so because of that I didn't get to study law. And honestly, back then I think I was 15 when I entered school. How could I have known what exactly I wanted to do with my life? I made such a pivotal decision about myself, about my life, when I was 15. Literally, I was such a child. Do you get? When I literally filled out my form, and my school just pushed me to one angle, and because of that, I struggled for my first year of school before I really got my bearing and my zeal to keep going. Do you get? I feel like in that aspect, I would low-key recommend you doing pre-degree. I know that it's a whole mock tertiary institution type of thing that students after secondary school go to just to be able to get a pre-degree before they go to university, so that university admission is easier. One thing I would definitely recommend, if you don't want to stay or you don't want to take a gap here before going to school, is that try pre-degree. Is a good option. It's not so bad. Honestly, I wish, because I knew of pre-degree, but I just used to think that was a thing for people that did not really know book. Honestly, I was a very weird child. So if I knew that was a really good option, if I knew what I know now, I probably would have done pre-degree. Do you understand? And I think pre-degree will just give you a good experience, a good knowledge of what university life is like. You actually need to study really hard to succeed in university. My school is actually a very competitive university, OAU. In case you all don't know, that's my school. One thing I've definitely learned from being a student in OAU is that academic success does not just come by you doing the absolute minimal. You have to do things that, be outside the box to succeed. Not doing crazy shit. You have to read your book, you have to do research, you have to actually know that you're in school for school. I feel secondary school is very, if you read your textbooks that your teachers give you in class, you pass, But university, you can't just rely on your notes. They expect you to go and do extra research, to write more during your exams. They don't just want you to come to class or to your exam all half-baked. You actually have to put in effort, have study plans, maybe have study groups. You have to put in extra effort to succeed in university. And I think that one of the reasons why I struggled in my first year was because I did not know these things. I did not have a plan. I was just going with the wind, with whatever anybody was doing beside me, I would do. But I think as I've advanced in my years in school, I've learned that I have to put in effort if I want to succeed, and that has really turned around my academics, and I've really been doing way better in school because I've been more serious with my academics. I'm more intentional. I think intentionality is the English I'm looking for. Just have to be more intentional about your academics and take it very seriously, because they don't want you to leave here half-baked. That's the whole idea. Yeah. So the third thing I wish I knew is that you will literally grow older in school. You would, adult in school. And not adults in the sense of age. Obviously, I'm 20 now. I'm not the same age I was when I was in part 1. Why did it get so dark all of a sudden? Please, I'm coming. So obviously, I'm not the same age that I was when I was in part 1. I'm 20 now. Do the math. Nigeria is Nigerian. And aside from age, just basically mentally, I'm such a different person than I used to be when I was in 100 level. And over the years, I feel like I've just grown. I've learned more about myself, and I've also learned more about my finances, about friendships, about relationships. Just basically just know that you would literally transition from being a teenager to a full-grown adult in university. Obviously there's still more growing up to do after school, but like school gives you like a good, like I think it's, I like to call it mock adulting. Like it gives you a good idea of what the adult world would be like, how you have to work so hard to succeed, how you have to, you know, learn to prioritize what is most important to you, how you have to plan and budget and all of that, and make sure that you're smart with your finances. I feel like school is definitely going to teach you that. You will age your age, honestly, if you decide to go to a Nigerian university or a federal school, because I know private schools, they tell you that your amount of years is 4 years, you will be spending the 4 years. But for federal university or public universities, ASU goes on strike. If there's an issue in school, students go on strike. If there's an issue in the country, you go on strike. Like there's always something. I'm literally in a 4-year course, and I'm pushing 5 years, 6 years already at this point, studying a 5-year course. Do the math. So like I literally entered school at the age of 15 thinking I would graduate latest maybe 19. Do you understand? Now I'm probably going to graduate at the age of 21, 22. Just be ready that you are going to spend a number of years in school. And I remember that even before I entered school, people were telling me that, listen, I was saying, God forbid, that will never happen to me. It happens to the best of us, baby. The best of us. So my next point is very controversial, but on-campus accommodation is better than off-campus accommodation. Argue with whoever you want to argue with, but on-campus accommodation is always better than off-campus accommodation. I know how hard it can be to like get on-campus accommodation. Honestly, like it's very, very hard to get on-campus accommodation, but if you can, take it. Because, and I know that even the state of campus accommodation, see, I'm a student, I have experienced it. For my first 2 years in school, I was literally living on campus, so I know how stressful it is to get, you know, campus accommodation, one, and then the whole vibe of it all is just really bad, honestly. But like I feel like in terms of, if you want to save your money, if you want to be more economical, if you want to easily be able to access things on campus, campus accommodation is always G. And I feel like most things happen on campus, most events, most important things, when people are like, just basically anything that would make your academic life easier is always on campus. So like if you can get on-campus accommodation, it's always better. I feel like it's more expensive to live off campus. It's not as safe as campus life. It's just easier. There's an easier vibe to living on campus. You get like, and there's less tussle with your hostel manager on campus. Like they might not really answer you and all of that, but the porters are, at least the ones I experienced, were kind of cool people, and it was just like, it's always easier basically. And yeah, I just wish that the government would improve on accommodation on campus, honestly, because it's so much better. I think for my third year, my third year I lived off campus, and I literally had to run back on campus. Everything is on campus. Like you just find yourself having to always come on campus to do things like, just, yeah. The next thing is that when it comes to friendship can be very, very, very ghetto, okay, like as per usual. But one thing I will say is that I wish I knew is that a lot of the connections that would follow you for the rest of your life, that would take you to places, I really don't know. I think Amatan has cut my gel brush because it's just bleeding gel. Anyways, so like most of the friendships that you will form that will last you a lifetime, that will make life easier for you, come from the friends you make on campus, okay? And connections, basically. I wish a lot of people know this, that don't just go to college for school. That's very important. You going to college for school and all of that, that's very, very important. But also try to make friends with people. Like, don't just be a lone wolf, because I've seen that a lot of, even just in my life, basically, a lot of the things I've been able to do, or a lot of places I've been able to reach, is basically because of the connections I've formed with people, even while I'm still in school now. So, and I'm seeing, even my mom was telling me this a few days ago, like about her friends and just basically like connections and all of that. You just don't go to school for your academics alone. Go to meet people, be intentional about making long-term friendships. Just know that whatever friendship you're forming it's probably going to be a friendship that will last you a lifetime, that will take you to places. So like, just know, and don't ever look down on anybody, because you don't know who is who, and we are all just starting life too. So like, yeah, the dating scene here is the absolute ghetto. Oh my goodness, no, like, people are actually crazy. People are actually crazy on campus. I'm telling you, like, the dating scene is the actual ghetto. Like, I've had many of my friends say that they don't even want to go out with boys from our school, or they don't want to date guys. Even guys tell me that they don't even want to date girls from our school. And it's like, I can see, like, once you hear situations and scenarios from other people, it'll be like, wow. Even as I'm sitting and I'm talking to you guys, like, I've had like crazy experiences too, that I don't really put myself out there, don't let me lie, but like, times when I've had like crazy experiences, the actual hell. Like, and that's one of the reasons why I get so scared of dating in school, because like, if you hear the horror stories about men and how the guys in school move, like, it's just crazy. Like, if you're coming from secondary school and you think that you might find your bone of your bone, honestly, because my parents met in school, so that's cute or whatever. But like, if it is your plan to meet the bone of your bone in school, God be with you. But I know that most people that end up meeting the bone of their bone in school, they did not plan to meet the bone of their bone here. It just happened. So if that's your plan, that's also really, really good. But the absolute ghetto. The absolute ghetto. And like, hookup culture is such a thing, and the men are so disrespectful about it. Like, most guys, they are very disrespectful about, like, just basically how they treat women in school, and they are very audacious, very, very, very audacious with it. They have no respect, and they think that because we are all going to the same class and because we're all in the same school, they can just talk to women anyhow. The literal ghetto, guys, literal ghetto. So basically, the last thing I will talk about will most definitely be, in as much as you try to make friends, understand that sometimes friendships can be highly transactional in school. Like, I've met really good people that I'm pretty sure that even after school you will still be friends and all of that, but I just know that a lot of friendships in school, they're very transactional. People want something from you, and it still goes back to my point about the real world. Like, you learn a lot about the real world from university. Like, I'm coming. So yeah, as I was saying, a lot of people try to be friends with you for like academic gains, or, you know, if you're a brilliant student, just know that a lot of people will try to tag with you and try to get on you because you're brilliant. Like, don't be offended, honestly, everybody's just trying to succeed, and it's just up to you. Oh my goodness. It's just up to you to know not to expect much from friendships, because honestly, I don't actually think that, and I know this is kind of wrong, because me myself, I'm not a dumb student, I'm brilliant too, by God's grace, but people will try to approach you, people try to be your friends because of what they can gain from you. Do you get? And honestly, like, I understand where people are coming with that, but at the same time, like, chill on it, you know. And yeah, I think that's a lot about university and all of that. Like, you just know that that's the vibe and everything. And one thing I will say for my fresh, I don't know if any fresher gets to watch this video, your fresh year or your past 1 year might not be as crazy as mine was, but just know that it gets easier, honestly. Like, starting school, because you've never ever done most of the things you're going to be doing in university, you've never done it before in your life, so most things are going to be kind of like strange. Just be calm, chill, like, it's not that deep, and there's always a way, there's always a solution. Like, you're an adult now, like, don't cry every time something bad happens. Like, there's always a solution to every problem. Calm down, it gets easier. I swear it gets very easier. You find a way to tweak yourself. You find a way to, because sometimes I feel like for fresh students, you don't know how or where to fit in. At some point, you will find your way. It's just calm down, drink water. If life knocks you down once, calm down, re-strategize, and enter the jungle again. So these are a few things that I wish I knew about university before deciding to come to the university. If you guys would like a part 2 to this video, please let me know in the comment section below. I am more than happy to do it. I really enjoyed this session and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Like, I really have a lot of things that I want to say, but I'm trying to keep it cute. Yeah. So yeah, let me go into my class. Bye guys. Mwah.